see if it's visible now because of last time it was glitched. So. Oh yeah, we're live. Like the first thing that pops up was me being live. Okay, well, hello everyone. Bit live earlier than usual, about 2 minutes now, 1 minute before the actual start of the session. Just want to make sure everything is ready. But hello everyone. My name is Diamond, and together alongside me today will be Brandon,
Hello.
and we
Uh,
will be showing you guys hopefully an amazing race again around Silverstone this week. Of course, we firstly saw the PC guys hop it or fight it out. They had a lot of mixed weather conditions, the intermediates being used a lot, but also when it was dry, it mainly showed some absolutely incredible racing. If you don't get stuck in that very well known safety car, no, safety car train, no, DRS train. Um, so yeah, let's just hope that doesn't happen. But Brandon, do you have any predictions for this Grand Prix whilst we're still in the lobby?
well, obviously, as you said, DRS trains here are very common. With Silverstone, it's you, it's actually one of the few tracks where it doesn't look as favourable in game as comparison to real life. So I would expect some form of overtakes, maybe towards the end of stints, and maybe we might see some swapping in the pit stops, but I think it'll be a game of patience, and you'll probably be seeing people maybe go for it towards lap 25, 26 if it's dry and they're close enough in the DRS train. It'll very much be a game of patience in this race, and
Yeah,
qualifying may determine a lot.
yeah, I really think that will be a massive factor. In the Discord, we've just been told to ready up, but I think the big shame about Silverstone is that there's only one real overtaking opportunity, and that's either inside of Stowe or you keep it in side by side through Stowe, and you have to go in the final couple of corners. You have to either send it up the inside or stick your car up round the outside and do something there. But like you said, undercuts and overcuts will be the big factor in this race. You want to pit as early as possible, get the jump on people, but then you have to survive on all the tires that gradually wear off quicker and quicker. Also, another interesting situation is I did some engineering this week on the PC side of things, and we actually had intermediate weather there in F4 on the PC side, and inters do not really last a one stop. Pretty much the whole grid got a puncture, besides two guys. One of them I was engineering, so props to myself. But if we get a full inter race, expect some rain and some chaos puncture wise. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hmm. It depends if they did watch the said race. I would be hoping that they might just preempt a puncture and there's maybe pit stops, or even just be very careful on the tires. So I would just ask, since I didn't really see the PCF4 race myself, when would the punctures have happened? Would they have been midway through the race, or would it have been towards the end as some people tried to stretch out the tire?
Well, those ones were really at exact middle. Everyone stopped pretty much at the middle point because they were on 80% tires and they got punctures towards the end. But it seems like the qualifying session, at least, is all dry and all good to go. Chris Halland, meanwhile, is in the chat. Have fun, guys. Sorry I can't be there. And he is our championship leader currently. So let's actually talk about that whilst we see the first couple of guys actually head out towards the track. And the guy that was actually on board with the first, GL Flopman, is out on track first. But I'm just pulling up the standings right here for you guys. You guys obviously can't see, but I'll do my best to give you guys a visual perspective of things. Chris Hallat, who's not racing this week, he is our leader in the championship. Second place in Brazil, win in Bahrain. He is the guy that's currently proving to be the quickest in this F4 tier. Behind him, he's got Kart Racer, who got first in Brazil and fifth in Bahrain. He also proved himself to be very strong. And afterwards, you got already the consistent guys. Shazoo Ron being in third to the fifth and a fourth place was not really being all that special in those races. You got Elsreich, who got a DNS in Brazil, but he got second in Bahrain. And then you just go down the list. It's a lot of people here on this grid that seem to have individual pace, track on track dependent. So it will be interesting to see who will actually be the quickest. Of course, this week we're racing against around Silverstone. Next week we got Qatar, and then we got Austria. So these are 3 tracks with very flowing, high-speed corners and section of track. So it will somewhat benefit these guys. 3 tracks in a row. So it'll be interesting to see if the drivers can be carrying over that momentum that they have been showing. But we will be getting underway with the qualifying session as soon as possible. And the first one will be Juventus Racing Stefan. Brandon, let's go a lap on board with him.
Yep, so as you exit the final corner here, just keep taking it steady there through the corner. Let's just make sure to get the start of that right. Now through turn 1, flat is not even really a toss, and same with turn 2. So now you come up to 3, and you have to just, you can really hit the apex there, but it's okay if you miss it. Is if you can really cut back into the left-hander, and obviously this corner isn't really much of a toss. It is a little more in the west, but since it's dry, we're okay. It's the end of the second one, coming in towards Luffield. And just brake. You really want to hit the apex there to maximise time and open up Brooklyn. And just get the exit. And you're heading down to the old pit straight, or what is actually the MotoGP pit straight. And now coming up towards Cops, a place where you can pull a move, you have to be careful, and if you're careful not to go too wide. Now coming up to Maggots and Beckett's, some of those famous corners in Formula 1. Really want to hit the apex with, take as much advantage of the track as possible, and it's looking good there through Chapel, and picking up the slipstream there from the Mercedes up towards Stowe, and you really want to get as close as you can to the inside to open up the exit, and now make the braking for a club, and just finally get the exit. A little bit of sliding, but that's fine. It's just rotation. It's a 25.7 to start with.
Yeah, it seems like a very good banker lap. Flopman, meanwhile, coming within 200ths of a second on the dot exactly. So behind him, and I absolutely choked on something nearly. FXR Adrien coming towards the line up next, and that's a 25.3, and those are somewhat more of the lap times that we are expecting to be seeing. Asi, meanwhile, has joined the session as well. I think Jake March is now starting. Oh no, he's actually ended his lap time at 26.022. It's a lap time for him. Then we got another McLaren coming towards the line. That is ET8 Evil. It's actually still in Juventus, but it has still not changed his PlayStation name. Evil coming towards the line. He puts a 25.275 down. So it's a currently McLaren 1-2 after. Meanwhile, going up towards third place. Have not really seen all that much from this after guy, but he seems promising if he's already putting himself up in third place. Yazoo Run, meanwhile, coming towards the line, and he goes forward at 25.087. And then we've got a whole cluster of drivers coming towards the line, and actually it is Kart Racer now starting his lap. I believe he must have invalidated the other one, Juventus Artem. Meanwhile, our pole sitter last time out in Bahrain will absolutely peaked at a lap time was quicker than the F2 pole. He is currently up in second place. We got TF Niels coming towards the line. Let's see what he can do. Nono Espadas has also jumped up towards third. Everyone's coming at the same time. Niels going up towards P6 at 25.356 for him. And then we got a Mercedes coming towards the line. That's Oli Olaf. He puts himself up to 10th.
So, looking good for Ron so far, but we still have a couple of times to come in here. I think we leave the Alpine of WR Fashion Gold, and the Alpine goes to 11th, so not really challenging for pole position at the moment, but it's only the banker run. And to keep an eye on the cars. Thiago goes 6th at the Haas, so not bad at all for Haas driver. You see Justin going through Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel, end of sector 2. Oh, he's a little wide invalid, so both Red Bulls have messed up their first attempts. As Kart Racer invalid again, so it's a complete waste of tyres for Kart Racer in this first run, and he'll be needing to get this next run in order to just maybe get something on the board for a final run.
definitely not ideal for a kart race. Of course, the man who's second in the championship currently with a P1 and a 5th place for him on his scoreboard. But we're currently on board with Sven. Sven, I believe he's also got a league himself. He's got an Alpine there, taking a very interesting route on the right-hand side. But Sven has been focusing, getting more and more involved in the scene, which you of course all love to see. Second sector split is a 2.326, which I don't believe is the quickest we've seen so far. And let's see what he can do in the third sector. Absolutely misses the apex in Stowe, and now coming up towards Vale and Club, trying to take as much momentum through here, and then he comes up towards Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. And what laps can he put on the board? It is a 13th place with a 25.686, and how crazy as it was, how busy it was previously, how stupid it is now that everyone is back in the pit lane and has ended their first run. It goes by so incredibly quick. We still got 10 minutes left to go and everyone has ended their first stint, besides one driver, which is Asi.
Yeah, Asi in the Octave is running a little off kilter in comparison to everyone else, but that might not be the worst thing for...
That was because he joined late, do you remember?
Oh yeah, that would be correct. He would... but sometimes it isn't the worst thing to happen, because now you've got a clear track, you probably don't have to worry about anyone getting in the way of your lap. So, as he has a purple sector 1 according to the game there, however that might be misleading. Sometimes Codemasters do have glitches with terms of sectors, which has happened for multiple games. Oh, it's a bit wide there, didn't really hit the apex of cops, and I'm sure that will be a sentence that a lot of people have said, but not really in this context. And just see, struggling a little there through Maggots, Beckett and Chapel, because it's just not really hitting the apex or getting the nice flowing line when you're on the limit. And then just Stowe looks very nice there, if not perfect. And finally breaking the club, this last sector seems to have come together quite nicely. And you just see that up to the line, this is 25.6, so good enough for 13th.
Yeah, actually on the pad, still someone who is always stuck by the controller, and he's always shown some really promising pace, and he seems to be able to hopefully do show some more of his pace this season. Currently P13 is not where he wanted to be, if I could make a guess for him. Let's now go back on board with Flopman. I believe GL is actually a French team, but I do not believe that Flopman is then French on the other hand. So that's a little bit of a nice theory for you guys. Flopman though coming towards Maggots Beckett, trying to keep as much momentum as possible, but not invalidate on the outside as we saw Analyze Justin and also Kart Racer doing the previous lap times. He's 0.005 of a second up on his time. Shows purple middle sector, but I do not believe that is correct. Coming towards the final sector now, not getting blocked by that Williams on the right hand side of the screen. Could be Jake Marsh actually there. Now coming towards the end of his lap, Flopman currently in P16 with a 0.7. Let's see what improvement he can make. Slight this improvement, they can actually make a lot of distance up. It's a 25.073, and that's, I would tell you right now, not the lap time that I was expecting.
Yeah, it takes a lot to jump up that many places, even if these times are generally close enough. A lot of multiple people in 25.1s, 25.2s, 25.3s, 25.4s, etc. As if Jake Marsh is trying to improve on his first run, which seems to be a little off to everyone else, but now the key is if you can just find a little more time, get up the grid a little, and just see it's a 25.6 for Jake Marsh, up to 15th, but he'd be looking to find a little more time in the final run. As that's Adrian, 25.039 this time. He's on to pole position.
Yeah, it is a track improvement really coming apart here, and the track is growing and growing and growing. As this kart racer coming towards the line, no, it's actually Justin starting his lap time. There's just still a visual game to see who's up next towards that lap, and I keep thinking I know who it is, and then they're either on out laps or they have invalidated. No, Espada's definitely not on a lap time anymore. Next coming towards the line is actually a Williams. I think that's Jake Marsh. No, it's not Jake Marsh, it's Arden. Artem coming towards the line. He had a mega lap time last time round in Bahrain. Let's see what he can do actually right here. It's again a 0.0 and it's again going just a little bit quicker. It's an amazing lap from Artem. Can Ron beat something? No, he's 1,000 of a second slower than he previously was. Let's see what Israel can do. He is up with a big improvement. Will it be a 0.8? No, it will be a 24.960. Still pole position though for the Dutchman who got second place last time round. So very good place from him. Let's see what Thiago can do. He puts himself up to 6th place. So it's also a very good lap time from him. And it's an Alpine coming towards the line. That was Fashion Gold making the jump. Nuno Espalda starting his lap time again. And a Red Bull coming towards the line. That is Kart Race with also a 0.0. Well, I don't think Brandon is taken over. Let's see who's next up towards the line. It is El Capitano. It is TF Niels. He comes towards the line. Let's see what he can do. He puts himself up to 6 with another 0.0, boys. Everyone is just driving a 0.0 as of right now. Justin, meanwhile, my controller did some stuff there. I just missed it, but Justin going towards pole. It's another 0.9. So the whole front of this grid is so incredibly close. Everyone's so packed towards each other. And everyone is really showing off their pace. And Shazur Ron is currently in P8 with a 0.0. Brennan, are you here? And it seems like I cannot hear Brandon. He is still in my party. And I don't know if my audio is screwed over. But I've taken it over for a bit then, I guess. Pretty much everyone coming towards the end then of their first stint. Really controlling it so far. Nuno Espadas, he was going again, but he's also invalidated on the second time round, and he is in again. And besides that, not a lot of movement is happening on the track. It could be Sven, but he has already made his improvement. Was there? Brandon seems to be now back, but let's just take a quick look at the chat, what you guys are saying. And got NLR Wizzy supporting the NLR boys. Got me to saying that an Artem poll is coming. Artem's currently in P4, so that's definitely possible. And of course, we have the usual TF Niels support. You got Tom Roberts supporting Shazoo Ron. And they wanted Niels on board, which unfortunately is not going to happen if everyone's coming towards the line at the same time. So you need them to go out of sync, and I can definitely go on board. Niels towards Chinese F4, and he is Welsh. Brandon, are you back?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I just had to sort them for myself for a few minutes.
That's no issue.
So I understand now. We're to the 24th now, so Justin's got the time in. Kart Racer is also just slightly outside 24s. And split by an Alfa Romeo, so it should be a very interesting final set of runs here.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone will be looking to go out at the same time again. We've got 3 minutes 30 remaining, and it's pretty much everyone at the same time. There's only one man going out of sync, and he did this last time round, and he absolutely peaked. He decided to not go for any traffic. It is GL Flopman, and his qualifying currently, it's not a Flopman, it's a good qualifying for him currently. Up in P6 as of right now, but let's see if he can be making any improvements in the Haas. Let's see what a Sector 1 split could be. It's one of the more important Sector 1s here because it really shows you how late your lap will be. It's a half a tenth up already. It's a 27-1, which I think is a fairly strong Sector 1 already. Now continuing, coming out there of Luffield through Woodcote, and now coming up towards Cops. Want to keep it as flat as possible and get really close towards that curb, so you don't want to miss the apex here and hit a certain Red Bull unless you call Lewis Hamilton, of course. Now coming through Mackett and Beckett. It's a quick left, right, left, and then right again with you downshift again and going early on the throttle as possible. It's not invalidating. Keep as much momentum through there, and it's a slight improvement still, around half a tenth of a second. So he needs a very good final sector to put himself up towards that first position that he will hope to put himself in. It's an absolutely amazing corner through Stowe there. And up towards Ville and Club. Let's see what he can do. Can Flopman put himself up towards pole position? It's a 25.010. And he improved himself with a 0.0. But he still remains in that 0.0 side. It is currently P4 for Flopman. Let's see how far he will keep up there. Because a lot of the other ones pretty much every single other driver will be up next and trying to beat his lap time. And the first one of those is Nono Espadas.
So Nono Espadas, P10, and so you got a lot of 25, 325-2s, but a lot of 25 zeros, so he's going to have to find a little bit of time just to even be looking at position gain. But any good lap time in now could be the difference, as finding the time in that final run can often make the difference. Some others who had better times but just didn't do it at the last lose out on a position or two, just because of the track evolution.
Nono Espadas, by the way, he did the exact same Sector 1 as Flopman. Journey continuing though, going through Kopse, keeping it nice and tight, and again going through these Meckets and Beckett's corner combinations. Once more, once we keep as much momentum through there. This is maybe the corner when you invalidate Mostert on the outside, right there. Exactly when I told you it was going to happen. Nono Espadas invalidates his lap time. He does have enough time, I believe, to go again, because otherwise he would have queued up in a massive train that's right in front of him. But that is not the case currently. We do have an AlphaTauri currently leading this train, and I do believe that is the fast driver from FBR. It is Asi, and also he invalidates in that exact same corner. So it remains again at that corner, remains very, very tricky. And next up towards the line would probably be Isaac, and he's exactly tight on his previous middle sector. Let's see if this young Dutchman can actually make any improvements. I used to race against him in some Dutch TikTok leagues, and now he's here in PSGL F4 and wanting to bring himself into the big leagues. Isaac 004 coming towards the line, and he does drive a 0.8 at the 24.889, and it's a very good backup. Adrien coming towards with the 24.901, also a very good lap time from him. We got an Alpine next towards the line, but then we already got the Red Bull off of NLR Justin. Let's go on board to Justin. Let's see what he can do. It's actually a Williams. It was Artem who got to pole. Extremely qualified, and oh my days, Justin, the exact same lap time. What are we seeing here? This is incredible. I think it's Niels X towards the line. He doesn't improve as well. Next up, we got After not improving. And let's go run to pole 6,000ths of a second quicker than Artem and Justin. This is absolutely incredible. Now we got the two Alpines coming towards the line of Tiramisu and Fashion Gold. Tiramisu not improving. Let's see what Fashion Gold can do. P10.
It's only 10th.
It's Kart Racer though.
Improve.
Kart Racer coming towards the line. Let's see what kind of improvement he can make. It's in the Williams in the wall on the right hand side, but Kart Racer, can he make any improvements? Oh. No, he cannot. So it seems like Ron's currently got pole, unless Nono Espadas, but he's invalidated again. So it is Yazoo Ron who's got pole position. Wow, that's the only response I have to this. Wow. It's Yazoo Ron on pole position. On my left hand side it says a 0.7, and my right hand side it says a 0.8. So normally it doesn't really matter a thousandth of a second, but now it does. Because it seems like to me the top three is within 6,000ths of a second. Go to any PSGL league and look for a gap where the top three is divided by 6,000ths of a second, and you'll not find it anywhere. This is why F4 is one of the greatest tiers, ladies and gentlemen, and we're just proving it right here. It's 7/10. I can't do maths, but it's Ron on pole position, 7/10 ahead of Artem and Justin. Artem crossing the line just one car before Justin did. Artem jumping towards a 873, and then Justin doing the exact same thing. Before that, we had Israel coming up towards P4 within 22,000ths of a second from pole. They were at the end on 35,000ths of a second from pole. Absolutely incredible. And I'll quickly go down the rest of the list for you guys. Then we got Kart Racer, Flopman, Niels, Thiago, Fashion Gold, Nono Espadas, Evil, After, Tiramisu, Sven, Stefan, Oli Olaf, Asi, Jake Marsh, and then last but definitely not least, NLR Papine.
Yeah, and look at how close that grade is. It's what happens when you get like leagues like PSGL where the tiers are like 15 tiers, and it's just everyone in the thing like tiers like F4 are so close. You're just going to get margins like that where slight little entry or exit can make the difference for 2 or 3 positions. But it should
Yeah,
make for a very good race here.
it seems to be very cloudy. So hopefully that does mean that we are able to get a mixed conditions race, but I've not seen all that much from it in the Discord chat, so you guys should just presume it will remain dry. But for now, drivers will be getting themselves ready, preparing their strategies, and then we will be going underway. Drivers could be choosing either the softs, medium, or the hards here, and all the tires are pretty much possible to be used around Silverstone. Only downside here are really the soft tires, because you will be able to be gained back up very quickly. We got 5 red lights for the Silverstone Grand Prix in the F4 tier. Shizu Ron on ball, and he seems to have a good getaway compared to Artem, who starts on the soft tire. It is NLR Justin, who actually also gets a jump over him. Justin, though, keeping it still around the outside there, and he actually gets a position still side by side. Artem trying to send it back up the inside, keeping it all very clean and all good. It's an Alpine and it's a Alpha Tauri around in the background, but so far it seems all good. We got still a fight here. Adrien trying to make that move on Kart Racer. Oh no, wait, it's Kart Racer trying to make the move on Flopman. He sends it absolutely up the inside, and he hits the rear end of Israel. Artem also has sent it back up the inside of Justin, making full use of those soft tires, and he's again on the overtake, trying to make a move as soon as possible. Surely he'll not be making it into Cops. No, he will be sitting out for that one. And it's it's the start that Ron needed on those hard tires to defend from Artem. But Artem will be trying to make that gap as soon as possible on the soft tires and drive away with more than a second. He wants to be driving his own pace and not get stuck behind others on those soft tires. Here we go, Artem making that move past Ron. Simply done on the straight. No DRS, no ERS yet. It's around the outside goes Justin. He wants to try to improve his position he's currently in, going around the outside compared to Ron. It's medium versus hard. It is Mercedes versus Red Bull. And it is NLR Justin who makes that spot happen, who gains from there. And it's Israel who immediately wants to gain as well. He's on the soft tires. He is unable to make that move past Ron though. And it's absolutely all going down in lap 1.
Yeah, you see there's such variation in tyres. People going for aggressive, get positions early, others trying to play the long game. So now you just see this is Kart Racer trying to get his strike, and it hasn't quite worked. But maybe if he can take advantage of any potential battling ahead, he might just allow him an opportunity again.
Yeah, and a lot of
Tiago, Tiago and Evil. Evil's got the place. 2 soft runners fighting it out early on, and it'll be Evil now trying to get past Flopman while he has the tyre advantage.
Yeah, it's a lot of drivers on the soft compound of tyre. Artem already trying to get himself outside of that 1 second gap towards NLR Justin, and he's absolutely bumping forward. He only got 30% of ERS still left in the car, so it means that he absolutely burned through his ERS. Israel also on the soft tires trying to get Ron. He is just a sitting duck to do Ron onto those hard set of tires there. He wants to not burn all that much ERS but still keep himself into the mix here, and because it's all such a very wide spread of tires, it's going to be a very interesting one. Stefan, by the way, he has pitted onto a fresh set of medium tires after picking up some wing damage. Presumably it is Evil getting up the inside of Flopman. He is making up moves. Stick Evil on the McLaren, also on those soft tires, making big roads inwards. But here goes Flopman again. It's a little bit of lag between Flopman and Evil, so they are making contact between each other. It's also a spin there from Jake Marsh, I believe.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Jake Marsh. And once you kind of make a mistake, it's going to be difficult to get back with that group, because the DRS trains, you pretty much got the entire grid. Well, everyone down to 13th in one DRS train, and there's with Olaf in a little bit of a no man's land, and then there's the Alpine at Tiramiso leading a smaller DRS train. Then it's Jake Marsh, so he's going to struggle there.
Yeah, it seems to be all still very close to each other, and those DRS trains that we were talking about are still very much so intact, but Artem not really being able to make those softs come to life really, because he's fully burned through his battery, and he's still got another Justin in his DRS. He sees him flashing Justin, so he knows that he has succeeded in his first goal of what he needs to do, and he can now choose: do I keep up the pace, or do I just slowly sit behind Artem and wait and allow this to be one massive DRS train? But no, he will be on the back foot later on. Now, still talking about rain, and if it's gonna rain, Shizu Ron, like Tom Roberts has said in the YouTube chat, Shizu Ron will be having a huge fate because he is on those hard tires, and he will be able to carry those tires fully towards the end. But I have no clue if it will be raining or not. So far, it seems all clean and good, though. We got Asi making a double move up into turn 1, and Tiramisu has actually gone round. I don't know if that's with contact or if that's just fully on his own. He seems to be pushing onwards here. And now, after we've spent 4 laps, it seems to be like we need to talk and look a little bit more into those strategies again, Brandon. Because we got drivers on the softs, medium and hards in the top 5. So soft medium is possible, but medium hard I believe or hard medium is the quickest, I believe, because you of course get colder tires once you're on your out lap. But the better your tires, the more chance you'll have, and that seems like a normal thing to say, but especially on this game, it is absolutely crazy and vital that you are on the fresher tires. This time, no move made by Justin on this straight, so he is just simply chilling behind.
Yeah, he is getting close. He just need to take the opportunity where his car will just be that little bit closer. Maybe he might just... Oh, that's a bit wide there for Artem, so that'll allow maybe Justin... He could just keep that a little bit closer and makes all the difference. Because in order to get past the sort of stuff, you kind of need to be forcing him to the mistakes to just allow you to be a little closer than you normally would be.
Yeah.
Exit there, low ERS versus low but still sizable ERS, and you'll see to the inside, Justin takes the lead from Artem, and now it'll probably be Ron starting to put a little bit of pressure on the soft runners in a lap or 2 time.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a good sign, I think, for that train that Ron has got back up. It means that they are somewhat saving ERS again and not trying to absolutely drain themselves on trying to get away, because they've tried and they failed, and now they have accepted defeat and want to keep them in touch between all the other drivers. See if Artem's going to go back at him though, because he's still on those soft tires, so he should still be a lot quicker than Justin, and he's making that gain on, and he is still waiting. It seems like he got very close to it. For a moment it seems like he was still going to make that move, but he is waiting behind there. So Artem seeing and knowing that he needs to save his tires a little bit for the long term, because this is a long race, only on lap 5 of 26. So he just needs to maintain all of his tires to continue. And currently Evil has actually seemingly made a mistake, because he got recently overtaken by Flopman, and he has got a 1.2 second gap to get back in the leading DRS train. And that's of course where you want to be, because if he gets back up there, we'll have a DRS train from P1 through 13, which definitely is not the longest one we'll see today. Of course in the F1 and the F2 races we'll be having a way longer DRS train, but it's currently just a game for this train to let the person lead who's the quickest, so they can all benefit for it and all have chances. If, let's say, someone picks up a penalty or it goes a little bit wide or makes a mistake, they can capitalize from it, and they can't right now if they are 1.5 seconds back.
Yeah, it's very... See, Evil, it's... You just... The thing is, it doesn't really have the ERS to push either. It might be a case that Thiago could maybe do a little more in this instance to connect this train to the train ahead, because he has a little bit more ERS he could push, and that makes a difference. Whereas at 1.5, you'll need to find half a second now in order to try to connect yourself, because otherwise you just become the head of a smaller train and come much more at risk. Whereas he could just secure the place if he managed to connect onto the train ahead.
Yeah, and Evil, he accepted defeat there on that straight, not really defended all that much compared to what he actually could do, because on the same amount of tire life, Thiago though, he knows what he needs to do, he knows his goal, and that's gaining back up towards his DRS train. And the pace of the leaders, I must say, is not that high. They are somewhat conserving and knowing that they don't need to push all out. So it will be a strategy game, and whoever has the best eyes at the end will most likely be the biggest profiter from this all. And it does mean that the train led by Thiago will all most likely be going for undercuts to hopefully for them be making up some time, because they're all still very close. And let's say if Thiago pits like a lap before the whole train, he could maybe nearly jump the whole train, because that's how much tires do on this game. You can just gain like 2 seconds on one outlap, and especially on tracks like Brazil and Bahrain, it was hefty. Meanwhile, Artem going for the lead on those soft tires. He thinks, I've had enough of this slow pace from Justin. I want the lead and I'm going for it. But he does let Justin go back past. When it was a little bit too easy for him there, so I don't know really what the deal with that was. But it did not seem like Artem wanted to take that lead.
Yeah, it's a little odd, but he just wants to stick in that DRS for a little while longer and just maybe pressure Justin into mistakes.
Yeah, it seems like he's just wanting to burn off Justin's battery, so forcing him into defending, so he could easily gain something later on, but that's not really the time to do this currently. If I was him, I would have just taken the lead, but then of course you let one of the guys who's pretty much matching your pace the best be able to absolutely regain from your ERS and just absolutely chill that out. Someone else who's absolutely chilling is the guy in third. It's his side. We haven't seen anything from him, and neither did we really see a lot from him in Bahrain, and there he got second, and he seems to just be chilling now and hope for him to profit again. And even if he gets third place, he's becoming very quickly a serious contender for this championship.
Indeed, you just keep an eye here. Artem's not quite as close to us last time. You have to wonder when this pit stop's going to come for him and what tyre he'll go on to, whether it be the hards or the mediums. You just see there, like, Artem really checking over, seeing what could be on. You see Adrian Lono Espadas is switching places, I believe.
Mules they're making that gain up toward against Evil, and Nono Espada trying to get past Adrian, the two Spanish drivers on this grid, really finding each other, and it is Asi who's retired in the pit lane. I thought that was out on track. Nono Espada is about to go up the inside there on those hard tires. Seemingly those hard tires are now becoming more and more alive, but it is hard on hard. There's no real advantage or disadvantage towards the two compounds. Nono Espada though still trying to make that move stick, because Adrian is still flashing, going up the inside there. The Spanish two boys really racing each other very hard, trying to push each other now a little bit wide there. He goes off Adrien there, but he does have the inside line here. Now around the outside fully is Nono Espadas, and he makes that move stick, and he now needs to burn a little bit to get back up there, but that's an amazing move from him. And this train actually, Thiago failing to really catch up towards them, and the gap is now 1.9 seconds. He's on all those soft tires, so maybe whenever Niels comes to lead, because he actually picks up a penalty, El Capitan picking up that penalty there and losing out on a lot of time for the final standing, so he now definitely needs to be taking that lead. He's on the ERS button, and he'll easily be able to go past him there, because he is flashing Thiago, or better known as Bistro. And he retakes now P7. So now, and it's already pitting. Thiago, first person to pit. I was gonna say that train, they needed to make the undercut, because they can gain a lot of time in one lap. And Thiago's the first person to actually do so. Him being in P7 or 8 when he pitted, 2 seconds back of the lead train. He's going for the undercut to try and slingshot himself into that leading train. But the question is, will any of them respond? Because of course Ron won't be responding. He's on the hard compound of tires. Question is, will Artem or Israel be responding to this call? And it's a desperate call for pace because he goes on the medium set of tires, Thiago. So it's a soft medium strategy for him. Which certainly is possible because he lasted the soft all the way towards lap 9. But I don't think it will be the best strategy for him, but it will be interesting to see what Thiago will really be doing. So he's the first man to pit, lap 9. Write it down. And Thiago, he must absolutely be pushing like mad now to try and get back in the leading group, which you see right here.
Yeah, it's interesting to see all this. What's happening here? See, with strategy, some people. Well, Thiago's going for the mediums. He's bit the bullets in terms of pit stops. Oh, yeah. Oh, so close. It was nearly just tried to switch back, but it was nearly too effective because he just came across the rear end of Justin before.
Yeah, and the whole top 6 is staying out. Only person responding is Evil. He wants to go with Thiago on this train. But it's a very early pit stop still from Thiago. I think it will be ending up in like puncture range or something else. It's definitely a big risk and it's a desperate goal to go that early on.
It's pitting from the hard, so I think
also towards mediums.
There must be trust in these mediums because I think it is easier to manage a set in the second stint as opposed to the first. Maybe that might just be personal experience.
Of course, yeah, I mean, it will be less fuel. Flopman, meanwhile, going past Kart Racer, still side by side actually, and Kart Racer able to fend him off there. There was some position changes happening there, but it seems like these guys are getting impatient as well. But look at the amount of ERS they have compared to other ones. Just Ron trying to go around the outside at cops. Ron, that's one of the more outrageous moves you have ever attempted, my man. He's unable to really make that happen, but it does seem like those hard tires are really now a lot quicker than those softs because they are struggling with a capital S there. Let's see Arthur now. He's way too far back to really launch an attack up towards Justin. Flopman already passed Kart Racer very early on in the straight, so Flopman now up towards P5. And now the question will be, will Artem be pitting? Artem will. Israel will be staying out. So now the question is, where will Artem be coming out on track, comparing it towards Thiago and Evil? Evil actually putting himself still with it in the DRS train of Thiago, which means that Thiago's outlap has not been all that quick. So I wonder if they'll even be able to make that jump, that undercut work on those soft tires. Let's see now, coming in towards the pit lane, and of course putting on a set of those yellow tires, of the medium ones. And they're only now coming towards Club and Phil, Thiago and Evil. I don't think they're going to make it. Coming over, they are over, start finishing now, and that's a pit lane exit. Let's go on board with Thiago. No, he's not even going to see them, because there's Artem, and there's Thiago. He can see them, and he's gained, I would say, half a second over a 2-lap undercut. And if the undercut's not effective at all here, it means that Thiago is in big trouble, first of all. And second of all, it means that there will likely be drivers to overcut. One of them would be Israel, because he's currently the driver who's out the longest on those soft tires. But he will still be in trouble compared to those medium runners. And one of those medium runners is right up ahead of him. That is Justin, who's driven outside of a second. He's fully flashing Israel. He must be going into the pit lane on this lap. Let's see, and there he goes. It's the Alfa Romeo driver in the pit lane.
Yeah, you see, it's kind of worked out for Thiago in a way. If it's the 1.3 now, seconds will now point 1.4. But seems to be working out the early pit stop. Is ahead of the Evil's now past him, but it might still pay dividends in other ways. So keep an eye on those who are started on the mediums and, well, started on the hards. Obviously the hard runners must be going to softs, or it might be mediums themselves, but very interesting to see what they actually do.
I still believe that Ron's going towards the medium tires, because I do believe that that's the better strategy. But I think like a Justin or a Flopman, one of those could be going towards a soft set of of tires, but the amount of time that you lose whilst waiting on the soft tires and the amount of guys you need to overtake doesn't really seem like it would be worth it. But I would presume that these drivers will be staying out for 2 more laps, and if you see any pitters, then it would be mediums. If we see drivers stay out until lap 17, I would say, then they could be going towards a set of softs. So at least that's my vision upon it. Even though he's driven himself inside of the DRS train, which actually is fairly impressive, and Israel, he was right behind Artem for the longest time. He set out 1 more lap, and he did get dropped by Evil and Thiago, both of them making that gap here. And we got hard runners in, Niels and Adrien, and they will be then towards the mediums.
Yeah, Niels, Adrian have to be mediums really, because I don't expect Niels to the mediums, Adrian to the mediums. Jake? That must have been a spin or something, because it doesn't look like he's actually gained time.
No, and it would have been Beckett's, which I presume when you see that penalty, you think of 5 laps and someone just got in the final sector, but he must have. Yeah, I don't know. Someone saying that his Schumacher instincts came up. Well, let's not talk all that much about Schumacher here. Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, it's a little odd.
Well then, let's just refocus then on the battle for the lead. It is Israel going around the outside here of Thiago. He's struggling big time, man. On those mediums, he went too early. Like 4-lap old mediums already. And he's getting passed by someone who's only on 3-lap fresher tyres than him. Who is in trouble though, it is Kapitan. It is TF Niels. Because of the fact that he is 5.2 seconds behind that train ahead of him where he actually wants to be. And FXR Adrien, he is also 1.7 seconds behind. And now we see what's going to happen out in front. It's still Justin Ron staying out, and it's still a train of 4 drivers which contain Justin, Ron, Flopman and Kart Racer. Behind them you got another train of Nono Esparras, Fashion Gold and Pepijn. So this train used to be all the way down towards P13 and now it's only towards P7. That's because the 6 people that have pitted are now pretty much working together to make a massive gap and actually jump the leaders, which are still out on those medium and hard tyres. But the amount of tyre difference will be crucial in this race, and that will make or break this race. And still, the factor of rain is still an option because it's still cloudy. It's definitely not gone into a better shape, and there are a few drivers out on the hards who seem to be waiting potentially for the rain, although it doesn't really make sense then that Niels and Adrien make their pit stop.
Yeah, so I think if there was rain later on in the race, you would have had a lot less strategy variations. Everyone would have went on to hard, so that just being prepared that if a safety car came, it would bring the rain period forward, or they would just hit the rain period anyway. So that's Ron into the pit, so he's pitted before the medium runners. So these medium runners may well be angling for the soft tyre. So we're really going to get some strategy changes that might make a difference.
Ron indeed going on towards the medium tyres here. 2 guys in a row speeding into the pit lane. That was Tiramisu and I think Oriola, both speeding into the pit lane. Maybe some contact then if they're so close behind each other and both sped. Maybe some slight contact there. And Pepijn, first driver on the softs with 10 laps to go. Tiramisu going towards the soft tyre as well. Let's see where Ron ends up. And he is fully behind the train of the guys that he wants to be in. There on the left hand side you can see the McLaren of Evil, and he is in that train currently in 2nd place. Artem's the one leading it, so Ron is theoretically in P4, and he did not come as far back as I would have expected. Ishak as well, he's had an absolute stinker in pace, because he is in P10 now. He was past Thiago seemingly with better pace, and he's now already fighting with Niels The tyre difference between them two is only 1 lap. But Niels, with that penalty, he will be dropping back very, very far.
Yeah, if you don't here, like you see, like Ron, he's not done too bad he hasn't lost
Flopman a kart
that
racer.
much, but it's like you need to use his tyre advantage here just to start hounding it into his Thiago and then make up the space. But once some of the others pit here, like Flopman, Kart Racer, obviously they could fill the gap and bring the DRS needed to catch up to these guys.
Definitely, if you just saw the amount of ERS that kart racer had is insane. He will be one that's on the attack. Artem though, jumping absolutely all of them. Let's go on board with Ron and see where he comes out compared to those other boys. You can see the Haas there coming out of the pit lane. That is Flopman actually. So Flopman has come out 2 seconds behind Ron on those soft set of tires. So he will be making an absolutely massive gain on a very quick time frame. Ishak and kart racer side by side, and kart racer already making that second. He's got so much ERS. I think kart racer is someone to still watch out for because he can make overtakes so easy. He'll be absolutely flying past them. I think kart racer may be making it very far up this race soon. And meanwhile, Ron past Thiago.
Yeah, this is a real advantage for Kart Racer, having that amount of ERS, which seems to be a struggle for a lot of people.
Jake Marsh.
Oh. No, it's not been the best home Grand
Justin
Prix for
is
Jake
in.
Marsh. Justin, yeah, that's the final person to make a pit stop now. He should theoretically have the best tyres now to go on for a win, but that'll be a huge task to complete. It's like Ron, who will be third in all this afterwards. He's going to have to make up 3 seconds. He'll probably want a safety car to give himself the best chance, because he may have to work his tyres in order to make passes now. You see Justin fall behind Carvers, fall behind Niels, he's going to fall behind Adrian, and he's probably going to find this guy. And yeah,
side by side. He hasn't though.
Yeah, it seems like he'll get him there now. And he will have DRS, so that would be good news.
Flopman on Thiago, both Haas drivers side by side. There's no team orders happening right here. Flopman has to do it manually, and he makes that move and goes past Thiago.
Yeah, so Kart Racer trying to use it here. Oh, he's already burned a lot of it, so that is a little concerning. He's only went up some in few places. You see Ron's making up time to Artem and Eagle. It was 3 seconds or 2.6.
It definitely is. Flopman though, really been making an overtake right there and then on this lap already. 0.5, 3/10 of a second. It seems like it's a little bit too far. Still going for it. No, he's waiting. Flopman deciding to wait, although he has a lot better tires currently. The longer he waits, the better the chances get for Run. But they don't need to forget, they cannot fight all that much because they still need to catch up towards those two leaders, Artem and Evil currently. Both on 7 and 8 lap old tires compared to 3 lap old mediums, 2 lap old softs. That's the difference, and that's a big difference. It will be interesting to see what's going to happen there. Thiago's still on 9 lap old mediums. He will be running really dangerously close towards puncture range. Niels looking to make a move, unable to do so, maybe up the inside here. No, he's still waiting it out, absolutely putting Thiago on ice, making him drive lines that he does not want to. Does he have DRS? Thiago does not have the DRS, and now it's a very easy overtake for El Capitan, side by side there. Flopman going past Ron. Car is able to profit from it as well. He needs to now go around the outside, but on those pressure soft tires, I think it's definitely possible for him to do so. Ron giving him that big squeeze there, but still enough room to be left out of track. Maybe a warning that can be removed later on. Luckily not a penalty for Kart Racer. Well, after, we haven't seen him all race. He picks up the fastest lap as of right now, and it's a DNF from Stefan in the pit lane.
That's fortunate for Stefan. Won't let him go his way, so he's decided to end it early. And now Kart Racer, it might come to root that little missed opportunity. Because you see Ron trying to push it, trying to get past Flopman, but I think they probably should just let it go for a little because they are catching this group. And when this duo of Artem and Evil, and props to Evil, he was in the mid-pack earlier on this race, but he's managed to file himself up to second, and there's a chance he can win this Grand Prix if he makes the pass at the right time.
Yeah, meanwhile Justin already getting up towards P6, 2 quick overtakes on Thiago and Niels, making himself able to get past that. Tiramisu also DNFing in the pit lane, so again also not a good race for him. He got 3 DNFs purely. Jake Marsh make it 4. Will no, he just sweets in the pit lane by himself. Okay. Let's keep the eyes out in front. 6 laps to go, and the chasing pack has fully closed the gap. It is Flopman leading that pack, and he wants to be the first person to get past the pack. And I hope that Artem and Evil can be holding up Ron, Kart Race, and Justin as much as possible. It's a little bit wide there. I won't do him ideal on track limits, and I might get him in trouble later on. Really sorry, I wasn't with you on that moment, big man. He did that to avoid a warning, unfortunately. But no, let's see if he can make that move already happening right here. It doesn't seem to be like it. Evil actually still making ground up towards Artem. Artem though, he's got so much ERS. Artem, he will be still one to watch out for. He's fully prepared himself. Pace might have been not all that high. That's why Evil was able to keep himself up there, because he's still on 1 lap all the time compared to Flopman. Well, let's now fully keep it on board with Flopman and see if he goes for that move.
Yeah, Flopman, he probably is. He'll need to be making it soon enough. Otherwise, Ron's mediums may end up being the best tyres. So he needs to just try to take advantage of these softs while he has them in this kind of condition, where they are probably the best tyres you can get, aside from Justin's, but Justin's only catching on to the back of this group now.
He definitely is, Justin, but he has already fully closed that gap. He's on in a second, and look how close it is from the car of Justin. We were able to fully see that, but also from Kart Racer. Everyone is just so close between each other. It is the top 5 probably within a second of each other. That's absolutely incredible. Flopman again going wide there. This time he has to concede the position towards Ron. I think that was the correct thing to do in that case. Ron though up towards 3rd, and it's now going to be a question if Ron is able to make that move happening as soon as possible. Evil will not be able, will not be so defensive. He's going for the attack actually. The best defense in that case is the attack. He goes past Artem, and Evil taking the lead. I was going to say ET8, but he is still driving for Juventus. Change your PSN please. Flopman though looking to make that move back past Ron, unable to do so. Just was going a little bit to the left to show, hi there, I am still here, do not forget about me. But Flopman needs to watch out, because he's got 2 Red Bulls behind him who are hungry. They want more and more points, and they've got someone who's bound to be the new championship leader, as in Kart Racer, right behind him. A little bit of a slider from Flopman. It's a dive from the leads from Artem, but he needs to make that dive to defend from Ron. Everyone's just bunching up there, stacking there. A little bit of front to rear contact there. Overtake mode being used by Artem and Ron. Artem needing to do it to defense, and Justin actually be able to get past Kart Racer. So the Red Bulls may be working together there, letting the Red Bull with the freshest tires lead. In this case, it is that young Austrian who is oh so talented. It is Justin, and he wants to be making more and more move upwards. But let's see if anyone can be doing so.
Karras has managed to build back up his ERS, but now he's stuck in 6th, and his teammate seems to be the one making moves. So he's got the freshest tyres of anyone in this fight for the win. As it's 6 cars, all going for it. Niels with a penalty just outside. You just see Justin Karras are hanging a little back there, or a little bit back. You just see side by side Flopman trying to get past Ron, but it seems like there's just no
round outside. Justin, amazing move around the outside. Sordo bunching up, saw the opportunity around the outside, still side by side between Kart Racer and Flopman, nearly going round Kart Racer there, still keeping it all right. And also El Capitano just it's Niels who's driven himself inside of that DRS train. Seems like he won't be able to do all that much, so Flopman sticking his rear up the inside there. Needs to watch out for a send of Kart Racer. That send does happen, but around the outside more traction maybe from Flopman. Unable to really do so and show all that more traction, and it is so much ERS gain from Kart Racer, but he's saving it up. He wants to be using it later and later on. Artem and Evil still leading on those older mediums.
That's annoying for Kart Racer. That slide is going to be costly, but it seems like he's going to keep in touch with that group. But however, it has allowed Niels to now connect onto this, and he's going to bring in Adrian, Tiago, and that's going to make it a 9-car train, which is headed by P1.
Yeah, he's still got a full battery, by the way, Artem. He is so chilling, so controlled of this race, and they're not going for it quick enough. People want to make overtakes, like Justin. He's constantly trying to do so, but he doesn't have the ERS for it. There the overtakes happen. It's Artem going past Evil, and immediately Ron trying to profit from it. Now he needs to go around the outside Ron. The dog lets close by Evil, but up the inside then goes Justin. It's 2x2. It's like a wooden crate. It's a 2x2. But Artem in the lead, still side by side between Ron and Justin. It's a little bit of squeeze. Both drivers on the inside sliding there because not a lot of grip was there. Artem back in the lead. Ron up into third place. Got a nudge in the rear from Justin. Now flopping around the outside. Fully brakes so incredibly late. Going past Justin. He makes that move happen. 3 more laps to go. Everything's going down. And the man who's got 100% ERS currently is leading. I don't know how Evil's still in seconds. He doesn't have any ERS. All the stars of them all. And he's still putting himself in that perfect position, so he is not the one getting overtaken. He's just knowing where to peak at the right moment, right time. Flopman trying to go up the inside here doesn't really make that happen. Everything's happening. Jake Marsh, another penalty. He is fully lost now in a lot of penalties, but let's not think about that all that much. A full DRS train, like we saw it at the beginning, it is now back, and let's see what happens now back on Hanger Straight.
Yeah, not many opportunities left to do and to make overtakes here, but it looks like Flopman, he's found a new lease of life. They're making that move. Kart Racer has now met the move in his teammate. Evil is back in the lead. The man who's got barely any ERS is now ahead of the man with all the ERS in the world. However, that's probably fine with Artem, because as long as he makes the pass on last lap, and maybe use a bit of ERS just to protect his lead on the final lap, he will be home and dry, really.
Yeah, I think no one really... Ron's just chilling. He doesn't really is necessarily to hopelessly go for it. Of course, when the opportunity is there, he will be going for it. Although I say that now, Sainz up the inside, but Artem was going to send it up the inside as well. Everyone bunching up there. It's so close to each other, and once more, I have to excuse you guys for this sound glitch again. This game's still not fixing it, and it's very, very annoying. Artem, though, going back up towards the lead. He's using a little bit of the ERS, easily able to fly past or past Evil. Then still side by side, Shazoo, Ron and Flopman. Those softs are not the nicest anymore as well. And it's a 5 and 4 lap difference from Ron towards the leaders. And they are now bound towards that final lap time. It's still getting closer and closer. Kart Racer, he also got half a battery still left. So he must also be wanting to make some moves on the final lap as well. Everyone wants to make moves, but not everyone will be able to do so. And we were expecting a lot more moves whilst everyone was still close between each other, but it's not really happened. Jake Marsh retiring in the pit lane. He also wants to spectate this last lap because he also knows everything is about to happen right here, right now. Evil unable to really go past Artem again. The ERS difference there is just too big. Ron also flashing, unable to do so. And there's now a little bit of a gap between Kart Racer and Justin. It's a contact on the rear between front Flopman. And he knows what to do. Switch back on Ron and he taps from round. And Flopman also goes there. And it's now a battle between Artem and Evil. How is Evil still a second? I don't know. They now need to absolutely drain their batteries to try and get as close as possible, and that's what Artem's just going to do. He's just going to use the ERS button and absolutely fly away. And Kart Racer and Justin, they are the two lucky dogs from this. Both Red Bulls able to gain 2 positions, and they are absolutely smiling and loving life currently because they're able to get 2 good results in. Kart Racer burning some more of that ERS. They want to get as close as the leaders as possible for Hanger Straight to try and get there. And I think Artem will be able to drive outside of the DRS range from Evil beforehand. So Evil needs to make sure that he doesn't drop back all the way towards P4 as of right now, but still continuing on the overtake. Now down towards below halfway is now Artem. He absolutely burned everything from that ERS button. He needs to make sure he doesn't go over the limit of ERS that you can use, because then he doesn't have any ERS left on the final straight. But he's got such a big gap that I don't think he should worry about that. The only driver that should be worried is Evil, because he on 15 lap old mediums is going to get overtaken here by Kart Racer on the DRS and the ERS, able to make that move happen. Justin not that quick. He's going to get overtaken by Niels. That's firstly going on board the Kart Racer. He makes a move stick. Niels going around the outside there of Justin. Is he able to make it? Yes, he is. Flopman able to retire. Good race from him. All the way leading. Unable to get any points. But let's go on board with the race winner. It is Juventus Racing Artem. Absolutely nailing the strategy. 15 lap old mediums. He wins in Silverstone. Kart Racer in second. Evil somehow still in third. We got Niels. Niels in sixth place. He would have been fourth on track, but he picks up that penalty. And he got Justin and Adrian in P4 and P5. Both amazing races driven from them. And we got Nono Espadas in P7, Thiago in P8, Pepijn in P9, Ron, yeah, maybe the biggest unluckiest guy of today. Mr. Consistent would have been again very consistent, but unfortunately contact between him and Flopman resulted that he was very far back. And that is the top 10 so far. Then we got Eastrike, Fashion Gold, Ollie Olaf, Sven, and then we got After coming towards the line now. And after all, he is the final man to cross the line. Suits his username. He comes across the line in P15. My voice is screwed.
Oh, well, that was a Grand Prix and a half, really. Everything going down to the last the laps is just what you want. And obviously, unfortunately for Ron and Flopman, they've come off the worst of it, really.
Yeah, I mean, there we see the podium, the Williams man of Artem. Last time round in Bahrain, he was on pole with some contact and with some damage. He was not victorious there, but he is victorious in Silverstone. He does it there. Succeeds to finally get his maiden victory in F4, and he's definitely one to watch out still for the championship. Only 3 rounds in, but he shows that he's up there. And someone else, Kart Racer, first, fifth, and second. He will be your championship leader as of so far. Kart Racer really doing amazingly there. Then Evil up into third place. My personal driver of the day actually being Evil, because I do not know how he remained up into third place. With all those drivers around him on way quicker tyres, he managed to stay up there. So he's my personal driver of the day. And then we've already gone down the list. Who is your driver of the day, Brandon?
Well, I'd have to hand it personally. I'd say Artem did very well there just to manage that race for me. As he just kept the ERS, kept it going, but a special mention to Evil as well for just pulling himself from mid-pack up to P2 just by getting on the right strat, like pitting a little earlier, catching on with Artem, sticking with him all the way through, and just keeping his head there, even, or as a P3 actually, sorry, even when Kart Racer did pass him, he didn't get too hung up on trying to keep that place. He just knew what he had to do and secured a good podium finish.
Yeah, and he definitely did exactly what he needed to do. I think this has been an absolutely incredible race again. And next week we will be having it all over again. If you guys want some more of this content, go to the PSGL channel right now and check out one of the streams. F1, F3, F5, F7 should all be around done now with qualifying in about 10 minutes. And then they will be showing you an absolutely amazing race as well. I've been Timon. Alongside me has been Brandon. Wish you guys all an amazing day.